I'm often asked what inspires you to write a play, and possibly of all my plays, this one, Driven to Distraction, has a number of different answers which are all part of the deal. So, number one, how did this one actually start? I was commissioned to write it. So someone approached me, someone from Is This Fun for Everyone and the London Borough of Havering, approached me and said, we want you to write a play about antisocial behaviour on buses. Now, I have to say, I would never have started to write a play just because I really fancied doing it. So the money that I was being paid for commission was the starting point for this. Secondly, I wanted to develop my playwriting skills, so I wanted to use it for my own purposes, as well as for the commission. So I wanted to write a play that was significantly different to others that I'd done before. And I was at that point on a wonderful playwriting course at the Nuffield Theatre with John Burgess. And he was showing the people on this course the techniques of playwriting. And I can remember one day, I can't even remember what he was asking us to do, but it was about plays that have that have conversation between two people. And I wrote this little extract, which forms scene one of Driven to Distraction. Joe on a mobile. Hi, love, what's up? I've had 3 missed calls from you. Zinc on a mobile. Joe, I'll be a bit home late. You okay? I'm at the hospital. I had a bit of a bump in the bus. They want to check me over, but don't fret, I'm fine. Do you want me to come? No, it's fine. Can you get home okay? Yeah, I'm just being called. Better go. See you in a while then. Yeah, got to switch my phone off. See you. Sure you're okay? I'm fine. Zed? She realises he's put the phone down, somewhat sadly. Zed, I had something to tell you. And it was a scene that was left on a cliffhanger, and it wasn't the sort of thing that I'd done before, completely out of my imagination. And I loved that little scene, and I thought I'm going to make that the opening scene for a play. And it became the opening scene for Driven to Distraction. So I was using ideas, and also I was developing knowledge about the structure of plays. And I wanted to use a structure which was very different in this. So the Zinc story starts after the bus accident, and you hear his story that goes on after the bus accident. And the other 2 characters, Tabs and Emma, I think it's Tabs and Emma, their story is leading up to the bus accident. So it's a Zinc and Joe scene, Tabs and Emma scene, different time frames, and then the very final scene brings all 4 characters together, where these Tabs and Emma, Tabs was messing around on a bus, and it leads to Zinc having a bus accident, which ends up being a fatality, which brings an end to his career. And I wanted also to work with someone else to do this, and I wanted to work with Danny Sturrock, who had just written gagging for it, which I'd loved. I've said in the previous episode where I was talking about gagging for it, what a wonderful script it was. So I approached Danny and said, right, I'd really like to write a play. I want us to do it in isolation. So I will write the scenes with Zinc and Joe. They're about my age. I was 50 at the time. And Danny was 20. Can you write the scenes for Tabs and Emma? And Danny had a wonderful ear for the teenage voice. So the play was written entirely separately in different houses until the last scene when all 4 characters were there and we collaborated. And we loved what each other did. It was a fabulous project, and a fabulous project for drama teachers, because each scene is a duologue. So you've got a young duologue, and then an older person's duologue, a young duologue and an older person's duologue, and then at the end, a scene for 4 people. And the other thing was, in Havering, which was the county that had, the London Borough, who had commissioned the play, they'd had this headline, water prank, kids cop a warning. And it was about antisocial behaviour on the buses using a water pistol. So we used that as the stimulus, and the accident is caused by Tabs messing around with a water pistol on a bus, the bus driver becoming anxious, because on the bus also are some youngsters from a special school that he feels he should protect. And he was distracted momentarily, and he ends up killing an innocent person in a car in front of him. And to give me extra interest, I wanted to give Zinc, the bus driver, a really big background, which led to some teasing on the bus. And I'd always been fascinated by the fallout from sexual abuse scandals. So the people who are directly involved, so it was at the time of Jimmy Savile, it was very much big news. Or was it? Maybe it was just before Jimmy Savile broke, but it was quite big news at the time. And Gary Glitter certainly was in the news. And I thought, what has happened to the Glitter Band, and how are they impacted? Maybe without them even knowing what he'd done. And their income was affected by his behaviour. And also, if you look at people like the doctor who murdered many, many people, and his wife claims she knew nothing about it. Well, I don't know whether she did or didn't. But I was fascinated by this story of the impact on other people who were innocent. And Zinc, for me, was a completely innocent person. He didn't know anything that was going on in this Simon Sparkle, I think we called him, in his life. And yet he was associated by it. So this idea of guilt by association. So that was also written into it. And the play was commissioned not for me to direct. I've never directed it. It'd be fascinating to direct it because it would be very different for me. And it was performed by StopWatch on a tour. And there they are on tour, performing it. And it went to schools in Havering for one season. And it's now out and published by DBDA. They're called DBDA on the cover, but it was Zinc Publishing who now publish it. And I wonder whether the time is now right for a new life to be breathed into this. So I'm just having a little thought. Maybe I want to look at this again and get it going, because it is a fabulous play, but it's very little known. I went to see the professional production, and it was a great performance, and a review on the back of the book felt a real compassion for the characters. And I was really pleased to be able to do this with characters that I normally, using real people, I don't have that issue, creating a character. So I felt proud to be able to do that. Content was focused and all learning points were reinforced. I would really like all students to be able to see this. Another person. Excellent performance. Serious message conveyed in a clear, precise and entertaining manner. I definitely recommend it to others. So, if you're looking for a TIE play, Theatre and Education play, that has been performed professionally, this is a great one for 4 characters. It's easy to put on and it will offer you opportunities for character development. Great. It was a busy time for me, and this was put on in 2009. And we were heading back in Southampton on to Stop the Traffic, which was the next OYT production.